let me just wrap my head. We're gonna talk right now. I don't even give a... Carisha? Carisha, please. Whew. I don't even know where to begin. But I should probably begin by saying my name is Defia, and if you're new here, please do subscribe. If you're not new here, I really appreciate you coming back because this was not the video I had in mind. Carisha, aka Young Miami, just posted an interview of herself on her own podcast with her best friend in the whole wide freaking world, Saucy Santana. And my jaw was on the floor the whole time. I left a lengthy comment. I don't care who come after me. I don't care. I am standing on everything I'm about to say. And let me say right now, it's going to sound like I'm attacking her, but I'm really not. I'm not attacking her. I just think everything about this interview was disgusting. I just do. And if she really does hold herself as the businesswoman that she repeatedly said she is throughout this interview, because that's basically 90% of the interview, and I'll get into it, then yeah, it is your fault. It's your fucking fault. I don't understand even what I was watching. But let's start with this. Oh, man. All right, so it opens up, and the first question that Saucy Santana has, he says, I really want to get into talking about your mental health. How are you? Like, really? That's where you went with it? And then she's just like, it's been hard. Sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm sad. Oh, you mean like a human? Oh, you mean like us every day? You mean like life? That's what you mean? Okay, cool. Whatever. I let that go. You know what I was waiting for. I was waiting for what everybody else was waiting for. I was waiting to hear that 2-syllable name that has been in the news a lot this year. That's right. Her ex, Diddy. And yes, it is her ex. She did confirm that. Oh, wait till I get to that part though. So, basically, the first thing that she says about Diddy is that when she met Diddy, she was celebrating him with the world. She then goes on to name a number of accolades that he was getting around that time period. It was the brother love phase, she said, which I could be wrong. I literally like hopped on to record. I didn't do no research. I'm just talking from the heart right now. But if I remember correctly, the brother love phase was very close to the beat Cassie's ass in the hallway phase. I don't know. Somebody do the math, put it in the comments. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can admit it. But her whole thing is like, I was loving him like everybody else was loving him. Cool. I find it really hard to believe that he flipped the switch and he was really that brother love character from 1 second to the next and then just continued the rest of his life with that. That's me personally. I find that very hard to believe. It could be. But I'm going to get into why what she said in this interview really rubbed me the wrong way. So she talks about how she got with Diddy, and she says, you know, how she was celebrating him with everybody. And then she mentions that when she first started dating him, she was even asking him, like, why you fucking with a city girl? That was just a display of her low self-esteem and her low self-worth that she has for herself leaking through. It was a drip, a faucet drip right there. And that's just the beginning, because she's going to repeat certain things over and over again that just let you know that she was just happy to be with Diddy. And she wanted to use Diddy for whatever she could. A lot of the things she said in this interview was so selfish. It was all selfish. And like low key, it's almost like, wow, maybe they were a match made in heaven, like a lot of people said from the beginning. She ain't mentioned doing nothing with Diddy that has been, in some certain blogs and stuff, because there were talks about her being an escort and her being a part of the sex trafficking situation and all this. She literally said on, I believe, her own podcast that she is a prostitute. Like, she's like, no, I'm a whore with the hard R. I'm a whore. That's what she said. I'm quote verbatim. That's what she said. I'm just repeating what she said. Carisha, ain't that what you said? All right, cool. Just let them know that you said that. So people justifiably thought she was part of that sex trafficking ring or whatever the fuck is going on with Diddy that allegedly happened. Allegedly. I can't believe I'm a YouTuber. This is crazy. Allegedly. So I watched the whole thing and I was in such shock that I was outraged at little bits. I had to watch it again just so I could take a couple notes and jot it down. And then, like, while I was watching it that second time, I was setting up the lights and shit. But, because I'm a professional. Now, let me stop. But a little bit. Look at my sign. You can't read it. It looked blurry because it's in the background. But it says, the voice you can trust. It's my podcast catchphrase. But anyway, I digress. I'm a divergent. Yeah. Anyway, so, oh yeah, then she goes on to say the reason that she didn't speak on the Diddy situation is because that wasn't her experience with Diddy, and that she didn't know anything about the things that had happened. That's such a fucking cop-out to me. That's so... The theme of this entire interview is selfishness. So you're telling me that just because he did sweet things for you, he was nice to you, you're not going to at least acknowledge the terrible things that he was doing for decades, literal, multiple decades, with multiple witnesses, video evidence, cases open and pending, cases settled. You don't have no opinion because he was nice to me. That shit rubbed me the wrong way, personally. Everything I'm saying is my opinion, obviously. It's my channel. I can say what I want. But that shit was crazy to me. She knows what people would want to hear. I don't know. I would think that she knows what people would want to hear more about and would want her to elaborate on it. And she wasn't willing. But then she kept talking about how transparent she is. And I looked at the comments. I skimmed real quick at the comments before I left mine, because I knew where mine was going. And a lot of the people in the comments were applauding her transparency when she didn't say shit. All she said is she loved Diddy and Diddy's a great person. To her. I was like, bruh, is this the fucking Twilight Zone right now? That's how I felt. Like, I was bugging, bro. I was like, this can't be life. So, I also learned that she was a domestic violence survivor twice. Now, the reason I'm even bringing this up, because this, her logic is that she went through 2 relationships in her past where there was domestic violence involved, and that she would never want to do that again. I'm pretty sure after the first time you don't want to do it again, but what happened? You did it a second time. This is facts. I grew up in a home with domestic violence. I know toxic relationships very well from just living in the hood and having those types of relationships surround me. Fortunately, I've never been in one, but I know them very well from witnessing them up close and personal. So it could have happened a third time. For you to say it like it couldn't, and then the fact that she references herself being a mother now, and then stumbles on her words and corrects herself. She's like, oh, well, I was a mother then too, but now I have a little girl. So being in a home with domestic violence is okay for your son to see so he could grow up and repeat the pattern? Possibly. Or grow up and just not know how to communicate effectively. because that's another thing. You know, that it could go a multitude of ways. But for you to say is you can't do it now because you have a little girl is completely sexist and like fucking weird to me. Um, these are all my opinions. Y'all gonna fucking. Oh, so then she talks about within the relationship with Diddy, he was saying things to her like that he saw something in her, and the way she was telling the stories about how they met and the communication that they had and how he was such a man and he made her feel so womanly. And I'll get into the womany. Womany is the word that Saucy Santana said. But she goes into this whole dialogue, and it's crazy because it sounds pimpish. And I'm also I'm over 21. Listen, I'm in my extremely early 30s. I'll be honest with you. But I remember hearing was it on the way out? No, I believe it was on Mace's Harlem World. There was a song called Jealous Guys. And all I think is Diddy in full pimp mode. And sorry, Mace, you catching it straight, because I believe it was Mace that said, girls are like buses. You catch another one every hour on the hour. And then one of them said, I don't remember which one of them said it, but you got to get in their head before you get in their bed. Yeah, that's called emotional abuse, which leads up to domestic violence 100% of the time. Niggas not just running around hitting bitches. That's not how it works. I said that in a previous video, so I won't I won't digress and get into that. But the fact that she romanticized it that way was also alarming and triggering for me. Then she goes on to describe the things that other women may want from dating Diddy. So she's like, I don't want to get a purse. I don't want to get flown on a private jet. I want to be a mogul. Most people want to get their body done. I wasn't one of them. She's bragging about how she didn't want to use him for any monetary or glamorous things, but she still said she wanted to use him to better herself and elevate her career. Selfish. I told you, it's an ongoing theme. It's not gonna end. It doesn't stop there. So more alarming. Oh, then that's when Saucy Santana called her very womany. You've always been very womany, which I just thought was a funny word, and I was like, I'm gonna put that in my video because I just thought that was really funny. Honestly, that's some shit I would say, womany. But when he's referring to her as womany, he's referring to her as being grown and responsible and business minded and all of these positive attributes aligned with maturity, right? And you know what it was all for? Just for her to reply and be like, yeah, I finally got a business manager. Literally. And then she repeated it with a couple synonyms. So the reason that you're so mature and womany is because you finally decided a good way through. She was already successful. Didn't fucking meet her at McDonald's when she was fucking flipping the fries. That's not what happened. She already had a little something going on. But she never had a business manager that whole time. And that's what was so mature and really elevating her. Like, 'cause Diddy did that for her, bro. Shout out Diddy. Wow. Please don't clip that. Don't. Anyway. So I thought that was funny too. I'm just giving you the highlights. So after all of this like selfish narrative and telling us like, because she repeats it multiple times, what a mogul she is and how she's building her brand. Even when I'm not going to talk about her and JT, but she talks about her beef with JT and again, saying shit without saying shit, because she's like, well, we're not on bad terms, but we're not on good terms either. And then she goes on to talk about how they really like was rolling separate even when they were a group. Like they went to tour together, but they only basically saw each other on stage. Whatever. But throughout all that, like she's still talking about how her and JT didn't align because she was working on her brand. Like, her mindset is, to be honest, very narcissistic, which is why I mentioned, like, maybe they are the fucking power couple that everybody said they were to begin with. But maybe she was the perfect. And you know what else? I'm sorry. This my brain working in real time. Another thing that is very popular in the hood is the term ride or die. And these women, these battered women, stay with these men and protect these men regardless, through everything, because they think, sorry, I drank water now. So because they think, it's been about a year and a half, but I'm gonna act like it's new. I drink water now. They think that they're gonna get a happy ending. So they put up with literally everything in hopes of that happy ending. Mama, that happy ending no existe. It don't exist. No es verdad. Es mentiras. It's a bunch of lies and imagination that I guarantee you them niggas ain't even feeding you. Well, no, in this case, Diddy was definitely feeding her, because all that, like, you a mogul, you an icon. That's what she said here, that he was gassing her up. But that's pimp talk, bro. Like, how JT, like, I mean, I'm sorry, Young Miami, you a city girl. Like, I believe you have seen more than I have seen, and I have seen some fucking shit. But you don't know how niggas gonna gas you up and talk to you to get you to do their bidding and work. Okay. Allegedly, my opinion, that's what I think is going on. That's what it looked like. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments I'm wrong. I don't care. But I'm just telling you the truth. All right, so she goes back into the whole fucking romanticizing too, because they asked if Saucy Santana asked her if she was still dating Diddy, and she was like, no. Remember the theme. Say it with me, kids. Selfishness. Watch. So she says no, she's not dating Diddy. She doesn't give any detail, but she does mention that it has to do with the drama that he's involved with right now. So basically, the reason that she broke up with him is because she didn't want to be involved with what he's got. No, I'm sorry. She can't be involved with what he has going on right now. And then after she says she can't be involved with it, Saucy Santana, actually, let me give you some flowers for this, Saucy, because you did kind of bounce off that and say, so basically you're not with him because you feel like you can't elevate and grow with everything that he has going on with him right now. And she caught that, and she was like, it's not that I can't elevate and grow, because she didn't want to come across selfish, like she ain't been doing that this whole motherfucking interview. By the way, I'm so sorry. What I should have said from the very beginning, because the first thing when I pressed play on this video was, it's only 33 minutes? She ain't finna say shit. And boy, was I right. I'll be right. So anyway, so yeah, for that whole fucking 20 minutes that's gone so far, she didn't say much. So then she's like, no, it's not that. It's not that I want to elevate without him. I don't want to sound like a selfish person, even though that's all I've been saying this entire time. It's just that I need to focus on myself. And when we met, we didn't know that we were going to fall in love. But then we did. We ended up falling in love. But I just can't be involved with everything he has going on now. So basically, you don't love him. You love yourself, and you was with him because you thought... It's crazy. I'm really... This idea, I'm going to keep it real. When I commented on that video, I went onto my Instagram and I posted a story with a screenshot of my comment that I left on the video. And I said, I'm going to stand by this comment. Even if I have to die on this hill alone, I will do that gladly. Because the way she addressed the situation is bullshit. I said these podcasters are going to fucking flame her, especially the pro-female, the pro-women podcasters, because you did not defend women whatsoever. You only not defended yourself, but promoted yourself, and then paid homage to the man who did all these despicable acts to multiple. It wasn't good. It was no bueno. So I tagged her in my post. I don't think she's ever going to see it. But I stand by that. Because I told her, whoever uploaded this interview don't love you. I said what the fuck I said. End quote. And I stand on my comment, and I stand on that. Because anybody who would have watched this once with her best interest in mind, from a selfish standpoint, from a career standpoint, would have said, nah, this ain't it. This ain't the one. We gotta script this. We gotta try again. We gotta script this. We can't just freestyle this shit. It's not hitting. But nobody looked out for her. And in the interview, she also does mention that how everybody turned their back on her. Whoever those people that she's talking about that turned their back on her, they must be the person, they the ones with their finger on the button, upload, put it on YouTube, because that shit, not a good look. Not a good look at all. So anyway, she says that she didn't distance herself because she wants to elevate, but then she said, but I just can't be around him while he's going through this shit. That also says that she's not opposed to getting back with him. Let me just say that. That's me saying it. Mark my words though. If it plays out well for Diddy and he somehow wiggles his way out of it, she will be back with him though. Mark my words. Then she talks about all those people that I just mentioned that turned their back on her or whatever. Cause when shit hit the fan, she was saying how like they was all, oh, you thought you had that nigga. Who was saying that? Who was saying that dumb shit? Fuck that person. This man just got caught and publicized on video doing heinous acts. Numerous witnesses finally speaking up. And you talking about, we knew you wasn't going to keep that. Like, please keep these people away from me. These are the type of people that it makes me angry that these type of people exist in the world. And then for her to take it that way, for her to reply and be upset about that, if you told me that shit, like, I knew you wasn't going to keep that nigga, I'm going to be like, yeah, you probably knew I was a good person and it wasn't going to work. That's probably why you knew. That's how I would have replied. Because that's the only logical fucking shit if you actually are a good person, which I don't know if Carisha is, and I'm so sorry, I'm not bashing, but this whole selfish narrative that you putting on this interview, and you're claiming transparency, so if it's really you, it's not looking good, baby. It's not. It's just, it looks weird. So yeah, she talks about those people. And then she says, and I'm sorry, I'm like, oh, I'm so professional. I put my lights on. And I'm just like slouching around. I'm really in my feeling. I'm just all shit. And I'm going to upload it too. I don't give a fuck. I put like a little powder on and that's it. That's it. So, yeah, just more of her fucking boosting her business and shit. She's like, they thought that I got with him to get Chanel and designer bags, but I got with him to boost my business career, and I was the #1 podcast. Same shit, selfish. Like, I'm telling you, ongoing, very consistent theme with this interview. But here's the kicker. You ready? You ready for the ending? She ends the interview by promoting her podcast, promoting a card game that she will be selling or is selling. Yeah, a card game, like cards you put on the table, spades type cards, but like a drinking type game, truth or dare type shit. There's another channel that has a game like that too. It's called The Table. Shout out whatever YouTube channel that is, but they have a card game called The Table. That game looks fire. It's for couples, or people that like each other and want to kiss sometimes. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, that game looks fire. Her game, on the other hand, ratchet version of that. Same shit. Truth or dare, take a shot, blah, blah, blah. So she's promoting something to sell you after all this. Audacity, bro. Like, this whole shit. That, you know what? Not selfishness. The theme is audacity. And that's what I'm going to name this video. The audacity of Young Miami. That sounds kind of fire. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, so she ends by selling this card game, promoting her podcast, and then all the way at the end, you see like these clips of people dancing to, I'm assuming, what is a new song of hers that may be coming out soon, with a hashtag. So it's a freaking viral dance challenge that she's promoting at the end for the final seconds. Whoever hit the upload button don't love you. They don't care about you. I hope you don't pay them. If you do, they should be fired. When you fire them and push them out the door, you should be smiling because you did yourself a favor. That's self-love. Get them the fuck out of here. Because that shit was crazy. And I don't have this written down, but that was my last point. And all this that I had to witness 2.5 times, because I didn't watch it the full way the second time. All for revolt. All for revolt to profit. She's still under revolt. Now, I don't know exactly how tied to revolt Diddy is anymore, because I believe he did resign. Sorry. I was like resignation. He handed in his resignation. But I believe he did resign from, but I'm not sure. But it is all under revolt. So that's my 2 cents. I stand on everything I said. I feel like the whole shit was a disaster. I hope, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to say I hope everybody flames her. But I hope everybody flames this interview. The interview was fucking trash. It was garbage. It was ill thought. Is that a word? It wasn't planned out well. It wasn't like under the guise of transparency when you gave nothing. So you lied to me about being honest. Like, what kind of shit is that? And then for you to completely praise this disgusting man is beyond me. Like, you don't give a fuck about yourself. I'm sorry, this is how it's coming across. I'm not saying this is a fact, but the interview, I'm hating on the interview. I'm not hating on Young Miami. This interview's garbage. So it came across as if you do not love yourself. You do not love other women. You do not support victims. And you are not one with mankind. You showed no empathy for anybody at all. And to me, that's a problem. To me, that's a big fucking problem. I've never been a City Girl fan. I'm not even going to hold you. I don't hate them because I don't listen to them. I don't know them. That's not my world. But this interview, fucking basura. Oh, and remember, I'm the voice you can trust. It's on the sign.